All right, folks, welcome back to another fantastic edition of Opali Presents Know Your Pros. And today's guest, we have Carrie Chen here with us, Executive Transaction Coordinator for her business, Clarity Transactions and Assistance. Essentially, what they do is help realtors navigate that extra paperwork of any transaction that has to do with a residential home buying experience. Carrie, thank you so much for being a guest here with us today.
Hi, Henry. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be on your show.
Well, thank you for joining us. I only really met you, a couple of weeks ago, it seems like, and
Right.
I came right at you, and I was like, Carrie, I love what your service is. I think that's such a perfect part of this service economy that's kind of sprung up in the last 5, 10 years, where we're simplifying processes that are usually just very difficult, and provide a lot of headaches. And for you, you told me you smooth all that stuff out. So I want to hear a little bit more about that business, but I also want to hear about how that business came to be. Why did you, Carrie, decide to go into business for yourself and start this company?
Yeah, definitely. So, I actually, I used to work in a retail, uh, I have a retail background, like I work at those luxury brands, but I always know that, in order for me to like make more money, I have to like start something on my own. So, I mean, real estate, I think it's a great industry. People always need a shelter. So like I started, I got into real estate like 8 years ago. And at that time, I was actually only an agent's assistant. So I'm just helping them, just helping specifically for that agent. And then later on down the line, the broker needed more help. So then they asked me if I'm willing to help more agents. So I step right into it, and then I got in the role of the transaction coordinator. So not an assistant anymore. So specifically a transaction coordinator who helps all the real estate agents with their paperwork. So basically, what that means is when you sign a contract with your client and it's ready to go into escrow, we're going into the buying process. They just don't have to deal with all the paperwork, because I know like a lot of realtors, they are always out on the road, or they're always out, meeting their clients, so they're not going to be able to stand behind their computer or laptops, deal with the paperwork or emails. So that's where we come in. We just make it as smooth as possible, and then just try to make that client service with for our realtors and for the clients.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like something that I would be really grateful to have if I were a realtor out there. I would just, feel like coming home from all these showings, interfacing with different buyers and sellers would just be such an emotionally draining process. And then forget about sitting down in front of a computer and dealing with all that extra work. Um, that's a really cool service that you guys deliver. And I want to talk a little bit about why this industry, but I also want to understand, the business model that you kind of sprung
Mm.
up yourself, because you told me, hey, Henry, this is something that's been around for some time now, but you guys have sort of a different spin on things. And it's not just you, Carrie, you have a couple of other folks who work with you too. So you're kind of like an agency that works with lots and lots of different realtors. Um, you have a big group, right?
Yeah, well, not exactly a big group, but yes, I do have a team of my own. So, like I said, I was working independently, for a couple of years, and then pandemic hit, and then I don't know, during pandemic, actually, a lot of people are buying during pandemic. I don't know if it's the rates are good, or whatnot, but yeah, I'm starting to getting a lot of business, and it's just kind of draining me, because I every day I was sitting in front of a computer from morning, to night. So I'm thinking like, I don't want to lose these clients because I don't have time to service them. So then I,
Hmm.
just thought to myself, why don't I expand my business and hire people to help me with it? So I don't, first, I don't lose my realtor clients. And second, I can service as many as possible, and still keep that clientele, level high. So because at first, when I was doing it on my own, it's really taking a lot of my time, and it's really I really can't service all the agents with good service. So, but I want to keep both of that. So that's why I started out a team. So we started growing. We started our company in 2018, and now we have a team of 8, 9 people in our team. And we work with, like
Whoa.
you said, we work with different realtors, different brokers. So yeah, and
That's
in Southern
impressive.
California. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And just in case everybody's curious, like we're going to have all of Carrie's information in the description of this video so you can take a look at exactly the operation she's working with. Um, Carrie, I wanted to get into really quick before we wrap up here. Like you've got this bigger, not bigger team from your description, but it's a good sized team.
Mhm,
And I want to understand with that team and with what you bring to the table of respinning sort of a pre-existing uh,
mhm.
kind of space, I guess, in transaction assistance. What is it that makes a difference with Clarity, your business, versus say the next guy down the line, if they call that other
Mm.
business versus you guys?
Yeah, so kind of like piggyback to what I said earlier, like usually this transaction corner is like a one man company. Like usually it's all independent contractor, but like I said, I want to be able to have the best service to all the realtors, and at the same time, I don't want them to feel like, oh, hey Carrie, are you too busy to take my file? Like, should I move on to other people? So I want to keep keep them thinking that, hey, no matter how many files you give us, we're going to make sure that you have a top service like every time. And yeah, that's one of the reason. And of course, we are bilingual. All of our team speaks a different language. Either it's like Mandarin, Spanish. We got it. So kind of. So I think just for me, just best client service is it's like my top priority. I want to make sure that everyone's taken care of and not to
Right.
think that we're too busy for them. Yeah.
I think that's really cool because you can start a business like this and then quickly get caught up in that extra work that comes with running a business. When you've got a
Mm-hmm.
team behind you, that's a no-brainer. Like that agency model is fantastic. And that is, the nimbleness that you bring to the table here with your company, Carrie. And before we wrap up, Carrie Chen, please tell our viewers where they can get in touch with you, how they can find you at Clarity Transaction and Assistance.
Yes. So we have our own Facebook page. It's just facebook.com/CT CTNA. And I also have our Instagram page. But if you want to reach me, you can reach me via my cell phone at 626-319-6888. Thank you so much.
Of course. Well, Carrie, thank you again for being a guest. Again, folks, all of her information is going to be into the description of this video to get in touch with Carrie. Again, thank you so much for being a guest here on Know Your Pros, Carrie.
Thank you so much for having me.
Know Your